Most people have never heard of the Hatch Act. It's not something that comes up in conversation, and it's rarely taught in schools. But it's one of the few laws that has helped keep politics out of public service for more than 80 years. It was passed in 1939, the same year that Hitler invaded Poland. The world was sliding into another world war, and propaganda was everywhere. Governments were rewriting truth, turning citizens into followers. Here at home in the United States, Congress decided to draw a line before it was too late. The Hatch Act was written to keep politics out of public service, to make sure the people who work for the government serve the country, not a party. It's a simple idea. No one in public office can use their job, their title, or taxpayer money to promote or attack a political party. It's what keeps the federal government from turning into a campaign machine. And right now, that protection is being flat out ignored. At airports across the country, there's a video featuring Kristi Noem, the Secretary of Homeland Security, and it's playing at TSA checkpoints everywhere. She stands in front of the official DHS seal, identifies herself by title, and blames Democrats for the government shutdown. That's being shown on government property through federal systems, while thousands of public workers are either furloughed or working without pay. That isn't communication, it's campaigning being funded by you and me. This isn't happening in isolation. Other agencies have been pulled into the same pattern. The Department of Education changed employees' out-of-office messages to include partisan language about the shutdown. HUD and the USDA added statements to their websites pointing fingers at Democrats. Those are taxpayer-funded platforms, not political billboards. Each of these actions chips away at the line the Hatch Act was meant to hold. They turn public information into partisan messaging. They tell Americans that their own government has taken sides. When the law was written, the fear wasn't about one party or another. It was about what happens when the government itself becomes political. The authors of the Hatch Act had watched democracies collapse under leaders who used state power to enforce loyalty. They wanted to make sure that could never happen here. It's a little too late for that, I guess, but that's why this matters. Not because it's an obscure rule, but because it's a measure of whether government still works for the public at all. When the people in charge can use official platforms to attack opponents, the idea of a neutral government pretty much is gone. It disappears into thin air. And it's not just the messaging. The office responsible for enforcing the Hatch Act, the Office of Special Counsel, is closed right now because of the same shutdown this administration has created. The watchdog has been taken off the field. They know it, and they're taking advantage of it. Some people in this environment, of course, will dismiss this as politics as usual, but that completely misses the point. This isn't about partisan bickering. It's about whether the law still restrains power. The Hatch Act was written so that a teacher, a park ranger, or a TSA agent could do their job without being turned into a political weapon. It's what protects the people who serve the public from being forced to serve a party. I'm not taking any loyalty oaths to a party. When that protection fails, trust goes with it, and once trust is gone, well, we know how that goes. Doesn't exactly come back easily. So yes, Kristi Noem's video is a violation of the law, but it's also a signal of something larger, that the government no longer feels obligated to even pretend to be neutral. That's why understanding this law and its history matters, because it shows us where we are. The Hatch Act was created to protect the idea of honest government. I know it sounds like a joke, but that was the goal, and the idea is beyond being tested. The only real check left is public awareness. People who know the difference between service and propaganda and refuse to confuse the two. That's why I keep doing this work, to make the history clear, to show what these moments mean, and to remind people that laws like this don't protect themselves. People do. If you want to help me keep teaching these stories with context, honesty, and no spin, you can share this post, subscribe on Substack, or tip through the link in my bio. That support keeps this work going when the truth is being rewritten in real time.